My friends, I wish to speak to you today about character, not the character you display when life is easy, but the character you reveal when life tests you. In war, resolution; in defeat, defiance; in victory, magnanimity. These words define not just how we fight wars between nations, but how we fight the wars within ourselves, how we conduct ourselves when we are struggling, how we behave when we are losing, how we act when we are winning. Because make no mistake, your life is a series of battles. Some you will fight well, some you will lose badly, some you will win gloriously. And how you conduct yourself in each of these situations will determine not just what you achieve, but who you become. Let us begin with the first principle. In war, resolution. When you are in the fight, when you are in the thick of the struggle, when the outcome is uncertain and the path is unclear, you must have resolution. Resolution is not the same as confidence. Confidence says, I know I will win. Resolution says, I will fight regardless of the outcome. Confidence requires certainty. Resolution requires only commitment. When Britain entered the war in 1939, we did not have confidence. We had been caught unprepared. Our military was smaller than it should have been. Our equipment was outdated. Our allies were few. We did not know if we would win, but we had resolution. We had the determination to fight. We had the commitment to resist. We had the will to stand firm no matter the cost. This is what you need when you are in your battle, when you are fighting to save your business, when you are fighting to repair your marriage, when you are fighting to overcome your addiction, when you are fighting to achieve your dream. You need resolution, the absolute determination that you will not quit, the unshakable commitment that you will see this through, the iron will that says no matter how hard this becomes, no matter how long it takes, no matter how much it costs, I will continue. Resolution is a decision you make once deeply, completely, that you then honor every day. It is not motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Resolution remains. It is not emotion. Emotion fluctuates. Resolution stays constant. It is not hope. Hope can be disappointed. Resolution cannot be moved. Let me tell you about a woman named Violet Sadabo. She was a British agent during the war. She was captured by the Germans and tortured for information. They broke her bones. They starved her. They subjected her to unimaginable cruelty. She never broke. She never revealed what she knew. She never betrayed her comrades. She showed resolution, not because she was superhuman, but because she had decided, completely and finally, that she would not surrender no matter what they did to her. That is resolution. That is the first principle. When you are in the fight, you must decide that you will not quit, not when it gets hard, not when it gets painful, not when it seems hopeless. You will continue. This is non-negotiable. This is fundamental. This is required. But here is the harder truth. Sometimes, despite your resolution, you will lose. You will fail. You will be defeated. And this brings us to the second principle. In defeat, defiance. When you lose, when you fail, when you are knocked down, you must show defiance. Defiance is not bitterness. It is not resentment. It is not blaming others or making excuses. Defiance is refusing to accept defeat as final. Defiance is saying, yes, I lost, but I am not finished. Defiance is getting back up when everyone expects you to stay down. In June 1940, France fell. Our armies were driven from the continent. We stood alone against Nazi Germany. By every reasonable measure, we had been defeated. The logical response was to seek terms. The sensible response was to negotiate. The practical response was to accept that we had lost and make the best deal we could. We chose defiance instead. We chose to say that even though we had been beaten, we were not conquered. even though we had lost battles. We had not lost the war, even though our situation was desperate. Our spirit was unbroken. That defiance saved us. That refusal to accept defeat as permanent gave us time to rebuild, to rearm, to find allies, to eventually prevail. Your defeats require the same defiance. When your business fails, defy the failure by starting again. When your relationship ends, defy the ending by learning and growing. When your project collapses, defy the collapse by building something better. When your health fails, defy the failure by fighting to recover. Defiance does not mean denying reality. It means refusing to let reality have the final word. It means acknowledging what happened while rejecting the notion that it defines what will happen. It means saying, yes, I fell, but watch me rise. This is crucial because defeat is inevitable. No one wins every battle. No one succeeds at everything they attempt. No one goes through life without failure. The winners are not those who never lose. The winners are those who refuse to stay down when they lose. Let me tell you about a man named Douglas Bader. He was a pilot who lost both legs in a flying accident before the war. The Royal Air Force told him his flying career was over. He defied them. He learned to walk on artificial legs. He learned to fly again. He demanded to be allowed back into service. When the war began, they reluctantly agreed. He became one of the most successful fighter pilots in the Battle of Britain. He shot down 22 enemy aircraft. He led squadrons. He inspired men. All of this after he had been told his career was finished. That is defiance. That is refusing to accept defeat. That is saying the world may have knocked me down, but the world does not get to keep me down. You must cultivate this quality. You must develop this mindset. You must build this muscle, because you will be defeated. You will fail. You will lose. The question is what you do next. Do you accept it? Do you surrender? Do you give up? Or do you defy it? Do you rise? Do you try again? Your answer to that question will determine the entire trajectory of your life. But now we come to the most difficult principle, the one that separates the truly great from the merely successful in victory: magnanimity. When you win, when you succeed, when you triumph over your challenges, you must show magnanimity. Magnanimity means generosity. It means grace. It means treating your defeated opponents with dignity and respect. It means not gloating, not boasting, not crushing those who are down. This is the hardest principle, because when you win, you want to celebrate. You want to show everyone who doubted you that you were right. You want to make those who opposed you regret their opposition. You want to savor your victory and make sure everyone knows about it. But magnanimity requires you to resist these impulses. It requires you to be gracious in victory. It requires you to lift up rather than put down. It requires you to be bigger than your ego. After the war, Britain could have sought revenge against Germany. We could have tried to crush them permanently. We could have made them suffer as they made others suffer. We did not. We helped rebuild. We supported democracy. We showed magnanimity, not because we were weak, but because we understood that true strength is shown not just in how you fight, but in how you win. Your victories require the same approach. When you finally succeed in business, do not mock those who are still struggling. Help them, mentor them, share what you learned. When you finally achieve your fitness goals, do not judge those who are still overweight. Encourage them, support them. Remember how hard it was. When you finally overcome your challenges, do not look down on those who are still fighting theirs. Extend a hand, offer wisdom, show compassion. This is magnanimity. This is grace. This is true greatness, because anyone can be humble in defeat. That is easy. Anyone can be determined in battle. That is expected. But being gracious in victory, that is rare. That requires genuine character. Let me tell you about General Robert H. Lee. When the American Civil War ended, he had been defeated. His cause had failed. His army had surrendered. He could have been bitter. He could have encouraged continued resistance. He could have spent his remaining years stoking resentment. He did not. He urged reconciliation. He told his soldiers to go home and be good citizens. He worked to heal the division rather than deepen it. His opponent, General Ulysses S. Grant, showed equal magnanimity. He gave generous surrender terms. He allowed Confederate soldiers to keep their horses. He treated Lee with respect. Both men understood that the war was over and that the work of peace required grace. That is magnanimity from both sides. That is character displayed in the hardest moment. Now let me connect these three principles. Why do they matter? Why must you embody all three? Because life will test you in all three ways. You will face battles that require resolution. You will face defeats that require defiance. You will face victories that require magnanimity. And how you respond in each situation will determine your character. Character is not what you say you believe. Character is what you do when it matters. Character is how you act when you are tested. Character is who you are when no one is watching. Resolution in battle shows that you have commitment. Defiance in defeat shows that you have courage. Magnanimity in victory shows that you have wisdom. Together, these three qualities create a complete person. A person who can be trusted in any situation. A person who will not quit when things are hard. A person who will not stay down when they are beaten. A person who will not become arrogant when they succeed. This is the person you must become, not for others, not for recognition, not for praise, for yourself, because you will have to live with yourself. You will have to look at yourself in the mirror. You will have to answer to yourself for the choices you make. And when your life is over, when you look back on all your battles and defeats and victories, you will want to be able to say that you conducted yourself with honor, that you showed resolution when you needed to be strong, that you showed defiance when you needed to be brave, that you showed magnanimity when you needed to be gracious. This is the standard. This is the goal. This is what you must aim for. Now let me address those of you who think this is unrealistic, those who say that the world is too harsh for magnanimity, that people will take advantage of your grace, that you must crush your enemies, or they will crush you. I understand this fear. I have faced ruthless enemies. I have dealt with people who showed no mercy. I have operated in a world where weakness was exploited, but I still believe in magnanimity, not because I am naive, but because I have seen what happens when victors show cruelty. I have seen how vengeance breeds vengeance. I have seen how crushing the defeated only creates future enemies. After the First World War, the Allies imposed harsh terms on Germany. They demanded massive reparations. They humiliated the German people. They showed no magnanimity. And what happened? 20 years later, Germany started another war. The humiliation and resentment created by the Treaty of Versailles helped fuel the rise of Hitler. The lack of magnanimity in victory led directly to the next defeat. This is the lesson. Cruelty in victory is not strength. It is short-sightedness. It creates future problems. It breeds resentment that will eventually explode. True strength is shown by being magnanimous, by being gracious, by being generous even when you have the power to be cruel. This applies to your personal victories as well. When you succeed, if you use your success to humiliate others, you will create enemies, you will breed resentment, you will plant seeds of future conflict. But if you show magnanimity, if you help others rise, if you use your success to lift rather than crush, you will create allies, you will build goodwill, you will plant seeds of future cooperation. So I urge you, pursue your battles with resolution, face your defeats with defiance. Accept your victories with magnanimity. This is the path of character. This is the way of honor. This is how you become someone worth being. And let me be clear about one final thing. These principles are not just for great leaders or historical figures. These principles are for you, for your daily life, for your personal struggles. You are in battle every day. The battle to be better, the battle to achieve your goals, the battle to overcome your weaknesses. Show resolution. Do not quit. Do not surrender. Do not give up when it gets hard. You will be defeated sometimes. You will fail at things. You will lose battles. Show defiance. Get back up. Try again. Refuse to accept defeat as permanent. You will win sometimes. You will succeed at things. You will achieve victories. Show magnanimity. Be gracious. Be generous. Do not let success make you arrogant. These three qualities practiced daily will transform you. They will make you someone who can be counted on, someone who can be respected, someone who can be admired, not because you never fail, but because you handle failure with grace, not because you always win, but because you handle victory with humility, not because you never face battles, but because you face them with determination. This is who you must become. This is the standard you must hold yourself to. This is the character you must develop. In war, resolution. In defeat, defiance. In victory, magnanimity. Remember these words. Live by these principles. Embody these qualities, and you will become someone you can be proud of, someone others can look up to, someone who makes the world better by being in it. Now go. Your battles await. Fight them with resolution. Face your defeats with defiance. Accept your victories with magnanimity. And never forget that character is not inherited. It is built, one choice at a time, one battle at a time, one moment at a time. Build yours well.